Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Turn Right Machine Works. My name is Keith, and this is Shortening Your Pickup Line Part 3. Alright, we're going to start out working on the little flange on the suction side of the tube assembly. Alright, we got it in the Bridgeport mill in the vise here. Let's get to it. Okay, we just touched off inside our bore there, and got our... Alright, just putting in about 40 thousandths here on the diameter. Here we go. Okay, there's a sweating gap in between the tubing and the fitting there, so we're going to be adjusting it to come on out here. So we're going to move it that way about 20 thousandths, and okay, and we'll move it side to side. We're only going to move it about 10 for right now. Alright, let me adjust in here. I'm just going 30 thousandths here. Then we'll measure our hole. We're getting close. Okay, excellent. We still don't see no silver solder. We're just a razor thin piece right there. Alright, we're about 30 thousandths under the OD of the pipe diameter, which is good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put in 30 thousandths. See how close we can actually come to that. I think I'm seeing a slight bit of silver solder over at this side here, all the way over to about right here. We're here pretty darn close to being in line with the OD. Our new pipe is going to be coming in at an angle. We're going to need a few thousandths over that pipe diameter to get that to sit at an angle of about 2 degrees. Alright, let's see what diameter we're at here. Okay, about 5 thousandths over the pipe diameter. Okay. Alright. I'm going to give it 10 more. That's 10 on the diameter, 5 per side. Okay, let's run it over this way a little bit. We already zeroed that out, so we just want to go ahead and be able to stick our pipe in here. Okay, and I think we'll be able to, we can move it around to fit that difference of angle. It's more of an angle this way and this way than it is up and down here. All right, I like that. Okay, let's go bore out the suction screen. Okay, we've got this screen. We put the little tiny lip of this inside the first little notch on the jaws, and then we just put an indicator and we dialed on the outside here. It's within about, it fluctuates about 5 thousandths, but it looks right on the money as far as by the eye. Okay, we touched off, and we're just boring through. This is a fine feed. We're just trying to barely get this piece out of here so it'll slip right over the end of that new pipe that it's going to be sitting at when we go to silver solder it. The tubing material is is thinner than we anticipated as far as bending it, and also getting it to separate from the silver solder is pretty tough stuff. It also cuts kind of gummy like pipe does, or DOM tubing. Well, let's measure that. This one here, this is tighter fit than the other one there. It had pretty good gap of silver solder in it. Okay, well, we have about 70 thousandths to go. There's 20 per side. Okay, about 30 to go. 15 aside. We probably should see start of some silver solder in here. Yep. See a little color change in there right now. We got one little solid spot right in there. Let's see what we got here. That is measuring almost exactly that diameter of the pipe here. Let's see what we got for wall thickness here. Like 40 thousandths. This thing is a pretty thin wall. It's a good thing we didn't really persist too much on trying to pull that off of there. We would have ripped that. All right, I'm gonna give it another 5. All right, I'm not gonna put any coolant on it or any oil for this cut here. We really want to get rid of that little piece of burr that rolled over inside, or the length of tube that's inside. We want that to come out clean. We may have to reach in there with a rotary burr, but it may just come loose right here. Yeah, we should be able to grab that with pliers and pull that out of there. Nice. Okay, that piece is sticking out in there, so this can only go in so far, but that'll be able to fit in there. Nice. Let me move the carriage back a little bit more here. Yeah, this is the other area here. This is a little bit deformed right here from that other flange here, but this is a good section of pipe right there. That's good. All right, we'll go ahead and finish dressing that up. Okay, I reached in there with the rotary burr, and you can see that I was able to get all of that. There's some chips and stuff still inside there, but it's nice. All of this is smooth. I hit this with the little Scotch-Brite pad there. Okay, there's a little bit of that weld thing right there. I might round a couple of those off of there. We're gonna go ahead and take this out of the forge on now. All right, and we can blow that all those chips and stuff out of there. Okay, we look back in our pictures here, and this kind of gives us a dimension of the angle of the dangle on this pickup. Okay, of course the pickup was sitting up here, hence our tracing our circle right here, and we pinpointed that direction right there. Then we took a measurement how far it was tipping here and how far it was tipping here. We got 2 3/4, so I laid out center line coming straight up from this down angle right here, which would put that up at 90 like that. And we got 2 3/4 here and 3 1/2 on that one there, so that screen will be sitting up here like that. And we laid this in here so that we're following the center of here and coming up to that distance right there, and we marked that's where it's going to be dressed off. Now that mark right there is actually going to be up inside, so this distance right here will be sticking down on here like that. All right, so we're going to cut it there, and then we're going to pick a straight piece in this area right here, and it'll probably be something like that and like that. We'll pinpoint that a little closer after we cut that, and we'll lay this in here and we'll make sure, and then that's where we'll actually have those two going on the sleeve, and we'll have the sleeve about that long. And we'll be able to solder that, and after we do that, then it's just this end here and the flange there, and the drop down for the leg has got to be shaped in another different. Now that leg went down there like that, so this has got to be bent and then radius so that it silver solders to the bottom. Actually, I have a close-up on that right there. Okay, cut that off at both ends. I cut it off there because I knew kind of where we were going to put it there. Deburred in there. Okay, that nicely slips in there. And then what I got to do is give it just a little bit of an angle like that. Okay, and we should be 2 3/4 there. It's got to come up just a little bit, and 3 1/2. Okay, so okay, let's stand it up here. 2 3/4, 3 1/2. All right, so we're capable of getting that in the right position. All right, now we're going to go ahead and pull this off of here, because we're going to put this right here, and we're gonna mark this just like that. This is gonna be the cut. All right, and we can lay this in here. We're gonna go ahead and even put the flange on here so that we got an idea. All right, and we're gonna hold this. Yeah, that line was pretty close. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that off with some acetone there, some cleaner, just so we get a fresh line. We won't make no mistakes. All right, get that right in position. Okay, I like that. And I'm sure we have a little bit of leeway. I mean, we're picking up oil, you know. It's not like we're going to make a couple quart decision here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and cut and dress that and make the sleeve. Okay, that is a slight angle out. This is a slight angle that way there. This is like 2 degrees out. And we got like 400 here and 700 here. But we're gonna be putting this down in place, and we're gonna scribe and match mark that perfect so we can hold it exactly like that when we silver solder it. Okay, we're gonna fabricate the sleeve right now. That'll slip over this. And then after that, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do a 90-degree bend on here. We have a dimension how far that's gonna be, and we'll kind of shape that the way it's gonna go up and underneath this end right here. And it looks like they did the exact thing before, is take one of these off of something else and put it on the shorter one there. It looked like it had been modified before. Okay, we turned a sleeve. This is a 304 stainless steel pipe, and we were able to go ahead and run our 1 1/8" reamer, nothing fancy through there. In fact, it came into a nice fit to where this is pretty snug. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and goop this up. So that we have flux inside on all contacting surfaces. We're not going to silver solder this till after we're 100% sure, but we're going to let's see, that's the wrong end. Okay, there we go. Get the right end. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to slide this on about halfway there. I guess just having a little bit of lubrication there makes it go pretty good. There's 1 inch there. Okay, and we're going to wipe off the outside here. Okay, and then we're going to put in this end here. Okay, that looks good right there. This is all prepped out, and we get asked every time we do a little silver soldering, we get asked, what did we use? This is white brazing flux. Harris is the brand, but it's just regular paste, and it's almost time for a new one. This can is getting pretty old. You can thin it down or add water to it. All right, the silver solder we're using is just A45 Silverloy, and that's general purpose. Somewhere there it tells you the percentage of silver that's in there. And go ahead and fire this off. We're gonna do this top side, then we're gonna flip it over and we're gonna go the other side there, just so that we got a good view around our sleeve here. But we're gonna warm up the whole thing so nothing kind of slips. It was a nice snug fit. Okay, I'm starting to get some glow on the sleeve. There, now we're getting glow on the body. You need to have both of those. We're gonna work it around. Before you even try to force your silver solder in there, you have to have some glowing materials there. Short sleeve keeps getting caught on the gantry there. All right, here we go. Okay, let's let that cool down for a second, and we're going to flip it over. We're going to grab it on that end. Okay, just like this. Okay. All right, take an acid brush here. Just kind of cleaning off the dingleberries. All right, we're gonna let that cool. Okay, we cleaned up all of this. This looks good in here, and we put on the pickup screen, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to solder that on there. Oh, this is going to be toughy, huh? Going to play tough? Yeah, we might have to get a little dab of solder at this end here and then give it a hand, tweak it on over like that. Let it cool. See, we know it needs to be pitched that way. It's a little easier. Both of these materials are pretty close to the same. we're happy with that. We have a couple little dingle balls right on over here. There we go. Rub those off. Okay, we're good. Oh yeah. Nice. We got that angle, that flip up. 2 3/4 here. 3 1/2 over here. Alright. I'll be picking up something like that. Alright, that L bracket and this flange, we're going to be, we just called the marina, we're going to be on hold for this, finishing this up here, because they're in between engine exchanges right now. We called the marina to see if we could come down there and do our last 2 judgment calls, and that's for the foot that's going to go underneath here and gets soldered in, and we locate this bolt and everything else, and then we would clamp this up so we'd know where it was, and then come back and solder that. And also this flange, the rotation of this, actually my drawing says that this center is 400 off the paper here and 700 over here, and leaning this way here 2 degrees. Alright, but we can put this in place, and then we'd be able to take a scribe line now that we're nice and clean, and we'll be able to scribe line there and then match mark exactly for the time of rotation, and then we'll be able to come back here to the shop, set this up, silver solder that. But that did fit up nice. Before we put this on here, we filled this up with water, and we saw no drips. For just a self-testy right there real quick, we just wanted to, you know, double check our work. All right, when it flows in there real nice, you get a good sense of it sealing up, but you always want to drop a little test in there as well. Okay, once we get word that they've got the LiftAll running and the mechanics back onto the engine, getting ready to tear it apart and able to lift it up off the pallet that it's locked down onto now, to where we can get a hold of or get an area where we can actually fit this up in place and get our dimensions. Then they'll call us and we'll go ahead and we'll continue on this project. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and get this boxed up and put it to bed, and until next time, get it done.